And the Nobel Prize for Chemistry goes to Rich Feldenberg for his great genius. So I'm going to tell you about the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for this year. It's pretty interesting, but to understand the story better, I'm going to explain a little bit about what a chiral molecule is and what a catalyst is, and then get into the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, which was awarded for the discovery of a new kind of catalyst, and that has a lot of importance in biology as well. I'm Rich Feldenberg. I'm a pediatric nephrologist, and I create videos about science and medicine. So first, what is a catalyst? Well, a catalyst is simply a substance which speeds up a chemical reaction. So the catalyst does help the reaction to happen much more rapidly, but that reaction still has to be energetically favorable to occur. So a catalyst cannot make a reaction happen that otherwise would not have happened at all. But it can speed that reaction up by hundreds, thousands, or even millions of times faster than it would occur under the same circumstances without the catalyst being present. So up until this point, there's only two main categories of catalysts that were known: metal catalysts and enzymes, which are biological catalysts. So metal catalysts are just metals that they can hold the reactants in place, they can transfer electrons, and they accelerate the reaction. One example of that is the platinum in your catalytic converter in your car. It can take pollutants like nitrous oxide and convert them into the much more harmless nitrogen and oxygen. So the other important thing about catalysts is that they are not used up in the reaction. Once the reaction is complete, the catalyst is still there and able to catalyze more chemical reactions with new reactants. Enzymes are the catalyst of all biological systems, and they can speed up reactions millions of times faster than they would occur normally. And enzymes are usually big proteins, but it is also well known that there are certain RNA enzymes called ribozymes as well. But for the most part, they're almost always proteins, which are made up of strings of amino acids. And enzymes have a very particular 3D shape because the protein is folded up in a very specific way so that they can fit molecules inside them in their active sites. And that brings those molecules together so that the reactions can happen in particular ways. Without enzymes, life would really not be possible, at least life as we understand it. The biochemical reactions that are necessary to metabolize and to build up biomolecules to create cell structures, for example, would happen so slowly that the biomolecules would fall apart. So enzymes are necessary to keep all that process going along so that growth is happening much more rapidly than decay in the living system. Okay, also for this story to be fully appreciated, we have to talk about what chiral molecules are. And that's an important concept in organic chemistry. And that's because carbon atoms, which is really what organic chemistry is all about, can form chiral molecules. So because of the very special chemistry of carbon, carbon atoms can bond to 4 different atoms. And they can bond to those 4 atoms in a tetrahedral geometry. And if all 4 of the atoms that the carbon is bonded to are different from each other, that produces a chiral molecule. Each one of these represents a carbon atom. It can bond to 4 separate atoms. If each one of the 4 is a different type of atom, it will be a chiral molecule. Let me show you how that works. Now you can see that these two are mirror images of each other. The green, the yellow, and the blue all line up like in a mirror, but we cannot superimpose the two on each other because they are different in 3-dimensional space. If we try and superimpose the two, say put the green and the yellow together, well then these blue and white ones don't add up. And you can keep trying that, but they are simply different spatially. We could say, for example, that this is the left-hand molecule and this is the right-hand molecule. So because carbon is central to all the biomolecules in our bodies, the proteins, the lipids, the carbohydrates, the DNA, there are lots of chiral centers in all these biomolecules. And because enzymes work by having an active site that has a 3D structure that basically fits perfectly where the molecule is going to come in contact with it so that it can speed up a particular chemical reaction, it can recognize one chiral mirror image over another chiral mirror image. As you can tell, I really love chemistry. Just check out the socks. So all life on Earth, as we understand it, has a preference for one chiral type over another chiral type. So in proteins, which are again made of amino acids, so all amino acids are in the L form, are the left-handed shape of the chiral mirror image. And all carbohydrates are in the D form, are the right-handed chiral image. So probably life did not allow both types of chiral molecules to exist, because then you would need two different enzymes for the same chemical reaction, one for the L form, one for the D form. So it's probably some historical accident very early in the origin and history of life on Earth where those mirror images got fixed, got sort of set in the system, and then things just kind of went on from there. But it's possible that in the very earliest life forms, there were both L and D forms that were being used, and then whatever biological system won out, that evolved to all the life that we see on Earth today. It'd be really interesting to see if we find life on another planet that had a completely different origin from the life on Earth, if they also have the same mirror images of proteins and carbohydrates. So finally getting to the Nobel Prize 2021 in chemistry, which was awarded to researchers Benjamin List and David MacMillan, which was awarded for a third type of catalyst known as asymmetric organocatalysts. And these asymmetric organocatalysts are not metals, but they are organic like enzymes are, but they're not full enzymes. In fact, MacMillan and List each came up independently with using a single amino acid to accelerate a chemical reaction. And so since most amino acids are chiral because they attach to 4 different atoms at a carbon center, it also turned out that the reaction products of the chemical reaction favored one chiral type over another chiral type. In other words, it favored either more of a left-hand or a right-hand molecule. And these organocatalysts are much more environmentally friendly. Whereas metal catalysts can contaminate the environment and get into the water and the soil and potentially cause harm, these organocatalysts, which are single amino acids, are basically much more biologically harmless. And it will be really fascinating to see what developments come from this new type of catalyst, these asymmetric organic catalysts. Possibly they can make the system even a little bit more complex, but maybe by using a chain of a small number of amino acids instead of just one, or I don't know, it'll be just really cool to see. So this is something that is pretty cool, obviously has some really cool chemistry associated with it, and potentially maybe an area where we see a lot of benefit come out of it as far as pharmaceuticals, agricultural products, etc. So congratulations to List and MacMillan for their amazing discovery and work. And thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you here next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.